Hello, everybody. It's Nancy Jean's Garden. We're doing another not psychopath, psychic profile. Sorry, I've never done that before. Um, and we're going to do that today. And I hope you enjoy meeting my new best friend. And your name is Pierrette.
Yes.
And you've had a last name change.
Yes, it's Pierrette White-Hopper
Right. Yes.
because I just got married.
Very good.
Hmm.
So anyway, just going to take a minute to see if people are starting to come in. And so, what's it like in New Brunswick today?
Right now it's nice and cold, very cold, but they're announcing snow. So,
Uh-oh, we're
yeah.
not. We're announcing colder though in Texas.
Okay.
We went from 82 degrees a week or so ago. I woke up in the morning and it was 28.
Oh, wow.
I
Okay.
mean, they have no. Cartomancy knows what I'm talking about because Cartomancy, Mesquite is a little town right near where I live. And Cartomancy, the sweet lady who's attached to that name, was over there. She was there during all this. Yeah, winter here, at least when it got cold up in north, it gets cold kind of. And then you'll occasionally get a few 40-degree days and you can actually take your big winter coat off and think it's warm. But you don't go from 80 to 28 in a day.
For us, it's the humidity that gets us.
Mm.
It's humid, so it gets to the bones.
Yeah, but you're by the ocean though, right?
Yes. Hmm.
Are you near Oak Island?
No,
That's Nova Scotia, not New
that's
Brunswick.
Nova Scotia. Yeah.
Ah, I do kind of know Canada. My parents were Canadians and they made us learn the map and they made us learn what kind of government they had up there.
Do you know where Parley Beach is in Shediac, New Brunswick? The famous town where the lobster capital of the world. That's where I'm from.
The
The
what,
Parley Beach
lobster?
used
Oh
to,
yeah, I love lobster.
yeah,
You're talking my
the
language now.
the beach was part of my grandparents. Like there was section of the beach when the government took it. Part of it was my grandparents. Yeah.
Yes. What can I say? So, um, this brave lady is going to take the 20 questions.
Mhm.
And as we go, and at the end, we'll talk a little bit about what Pierrette does. And she's been moving around and, like she said, getting married and doing other things, but she's getting geared up to come back and be more active, I think, in the community. True?
Yes.
Okay. So, when did you first realize you might have psychic abilities?
It came very early in my life. The things was that I would know certain answers when I was in school, when the teacher would put it on the blackboard, or someone would be talking in their head and saying, well, let's go to McDonald's. And I've told her about, oh, well, yeah, sure. And they look at me, I didn't say anything. It's like, oh, okay, I'll wait until you ask me. So I learned certain things, especially medical things that I had no clue how at my age I would know these things. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, my uncle got his finger caught in the door of the so-called barn, and for the horses. And when I went there in the morning, it was all green because I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know he had something there. And I started to take care of it without knowing what I was doing. I was only a teenager,
Mm-hmm.
and so it cured up. So yeah, so I always
Very
done
good.
things.
Very good. Is there, well, you've talked about you had a series of experiences, but is there one really big aha moment when you said, this is it, this is where I am?
Uh, there's many, but the thing that really caught me off guard is I can astral travel.
Okay.
So a friend of mine asked me if I would check on her daughter. She hadn't heard from her for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, I don't know, maybe I could.
Hmm.
So she's in BC and I'm here the other end of Canada, and
British
it's like
Columbia. She's in British.
British. Yeah. So here I am thinking of, well, what can I do and how do I do it? So I just went from province to province to get there, like in my mind. And when I got there, I saw her that she wasn't corresponding to anything. And I kept on telling her, you know me, I'm your mom's friend. And then I asked her to show me some kind of sign that she was okay. She
Hmm.
wasn't, like, she looked like passed out. So, and I'm thinking, okay, now what do I do? So I kept on telling her, I'm going to try to help you out, and I'm going to, so
Hmm.
all moving forward, I come back in my body and I call my friend and I just tell her, I said, your daughter is in really big trouble. So I think you should call someone to check on her.
Hmm.
And she says, well, who? And this was time of the COVID in 2020.
Hmm.
And so at that time, you could go to the houses and have a house check.
Wellness check. Hmm.
Yeah. So here we are. Police officers goes there, knock at the door, and she's not answering. So they bust open. She's on the floor, and they try to get her to respond. She's not responding. So they call the ambulance. They got her to the hospital, and she stayed there at the hospital. So it was a good thing that I was able to tell her this. But it's how does she tell someone that this odd dog that just decided to go over there
Hmm.
astral travel, and so yeah, so it made me see what I could do without. That's how my stuff always happens.
You
It
try
happens
it.
and it's happened.
You
Yeah.
should say, "Hey, I did it."
Yeah, and I never question really if I can or I can't. I just
Hmm.
do it. So it's like, okay, why not?
Let's go travel.
Mm.
Yeah, distance viewing is. I did distance viewing a lot when I was in college to impress people with what I could do. And I found out when you distance view into their life and you see things in their house that they didn't think anybody knew about, that's the fastest way to lose friends if they're not good friends. Because, in
Mm.
college, you don't have lots of tight friends. Anyway, at least I didn't. I didn't go that kind of
Mm.
guy. How did people react to you when you began to share your experiences?
I For me, because I've been always this way, it's normal. But I find like this summer, I'm going to say this summer, I took 3 months off, and I'm fortunate because I know because I've been like this for so many years, well, all my life, that I know how to say, okay, that's enough. I'm taking a break. I just need time for me. So that's what I called it. Just me time,
Mm-hmm.
because I needed not go somewhere, like say at a bonfire, and everybody would say, oh, you can do that. Well, can you read me, or can you tell me what's wrong with me? No, because I'm off. And that's what I kept on saying. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sorry, I'm off. Because I go to meetings and people will say, oh, yes, I know you. And then they'll ask me things. And if you touch me, can you tell me? I'm off.
I don't touch
So,
people anyway.
yeah, like, so, yeah.
Yeah, I found when I there were times when I just had to turn off, like when I was pregnant and I was in a high risk pregnancy. My doctor knew who I was and what I did, and she offered to bring my crystals to the hospital and put them in my room anywhere I wanted them. And I said, I don't really want them in the hospital. I'm not sure there's enough sage to have cleaned off any poor crystal that ends up in a hospital. But anyway, yeah, I know that feeling, and I find people will respect it if you just say, no, I'm not in
Yeah.
that mode right now. Of course, that's why I use cards, because I honor my cards with me. Did you seek training, or did you just explore everything on your own?
Um, Everything came first, then I went for the trainings, because I wanted a piece of paper to tell people, no, really, I learned this. But
Mm-hmm.
it's for me, I never had that aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a course and everybody was like, oh, and ooh, and me's like, okay. And then they kept on saying, well, if you see a yellow triangle, this means, and if you see the orange circle, this means, and I'm here listening to them, and it's like, why do I see organs? Like I saw the inside of the body, I saw the boogers in the nose. It's like, why are they saying colors like triangles? And I never got that. So
Mm-hmm.
I was actually looking for the, when you get shivers, because
Mm-hmm.
that's the right answer. I never got shivers for the right answer. And I was thinking, why am I so different? But it's just annoying. I just got it. So
You don't have to go the slow road.
yeah.
Well, and some people, I think that's kind of the shadowy work of being sensitive when you're looking at a lot of that stuff, because when we're doing what we do, um, it's kind of a protection to kind of ease into it. So I
Mm.
just tell people everybody does it differently, and we just have to acknowledge that.
Mm.
Did you have mentors or teachers though that you ran into along the way that you thought, oh, that person really helped me?
Um, well, it started so young that there was no one there.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't until you got the internet that you got something there. So that I would have been way older at that time. And not having anyone there like me is just you're sitting here and all of a sudden they download something and they tell you, oh, you're going to do traumas. It's like, okay, oh, traumas and what? And then they tell you you start at the beginning where birth, before you're birthing, and it's like, okay, and then you go until, say, I'm going to be 65, so you go until 65, and then you'll get the trauma when it's supposed to be like at, say, 18 or 21. And it's like, okay, but nobody was teaching that, and I just got it. So for
Mm-hmm.
me, when I wanted to learn things, it was the internet.
Mm-hmm.
I had a few friends that started to do things, and it's like, oh, we finally someone to talk to, because
Mm-hmm.
really nobody talked about it. Like, I mean, I'm in 1961 when I was born, and it started when I was maybe 3, if I can remember
Mm-hmm.
that, 3. So yeah.
60s were an interesting age. If you look back at the planetary movements at the time, I can see I'm older than you by 11 years. So um, I had I had the 50s to wade through, but and be sensitive. But you're right. And I always managed to find people around me though who sensed what was going on with me and they didn't tell me no. And I know a lot of readers and a lot of sensitives, they go through life where they're around people who say, no, it seems to me like you were just doing what you were doing and you kind of like walk past the negative noise.
Well, if someone would have said something, I didn't have to prove anything. To
Mm-hmm.
me, it was just me. Like my brother once said, he joked and said, "Just be you." Well, I don't know how to be anybody else, so I
Mm-hmm.
guess that's it.
Yeah, I talked to one of my brother when he was in law school. I was talking to one of his roommates about an encounter I'd had with the ghost. And this guy looked at my brother and he said, did this stuff happen around you? And David said, oh, her stuff only happens to her. We were spared. Uh, how do you know the difference between a psychic impression and your imagination?
It comes fast. Like if you were to ask me, "Am I going to sell this house on, during this year?" Well, if I have to think about it,
Mm-hmm.
that's just me. I'm thinking about it. But if they just go, I get it, and I'm usually correct. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't, that's how I get things.
Okay. That's kind of how I am. I just know it's called clear consciousness and
Mm.
cognizance. And it's really, I wish there was some grand odors or some shape or something I saw, but there's not. It's just I know. It's like I've read the book and I know what the storyline is.
Mm.
Okay. Um, are there moments when you kind of doubted yourself and you said, "Whoa, girl, let's stand back here for a bit"?
Yes, and I'm a manifester, which
Okay.
I decided to bring my niece with me to a go-kart race.
Mm-hmm.
And for me to see if truly these things was happening, I started to say there's like three races in a thing. And the first one I said, this is going to happen. And she looked at me and said, yeah, this is going to happen. The guy won't be able to. And then, and it happened. Oh, I thought, well, coincidence. So
Mm-hmm.
I told her, just for a joke, I said, well, let's try something else. So I said, well, he won't, he'll try to start his motor and the, the cord will come into his
Mm-hmm.
hand
Mm-hmm.
and then he won't be able to race.
Right.
That happened. So, okay, so that's two coincidences.
Right.
And then the third one is he won't even be able to race at all. The go-kart
Mm-hmm.
will not go, not at all. He's going to kick the go-kart. He's going to be so pissed. And here I am telling her what I'm seeing, right? And it happens exactly the same way. And I'm thinking, okay, this can't be three coincidences to the same guy. So it's like that was proving me, you got this.
And you've already talked about there's not any real way we can prove to each other. I do have the question of how do you handle skepticism?
I'm just me, so
What take it or leave it?
yeah, take it or leave it. I'm just me. I know that certain things. Like I was teaching something, and something pushed me. So, and it wasn't It was no one there, but I got to trip on this lady, and I put my hand on her knee. And at that time, I was not. Um, quite knowing what to do. So I start going, oh my God, you have no circulation on your legs, in your legs. You got this, you got that. And here we are. There's about 5 or 7 of us. And I'm going on and I just stopped. I said, oh, I'm so sorry. I should not have said anything. I'm here teaching something else and here. And it's like, okay, that was my first lesson to please be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
So, and everybody else was like, you can do that? Oh, can we? No, it's just, I'm not here for that. It's my mistake. So I had to
Mm-hmm.
learn certain things. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to learn our boundaries.
Yeah.
Because I trust me, grocery stores used to be hell. I don't go to them anymore. Thank God. I live where you can get groceries in 30 minutes from almost every store you want. And so I order them in because going up and down the aisles and feeling someone's pain or what's going on, or even sometimes that they're incredibly joyous. It's just like, I just want to come get the bread and the milk. Thank you. Um, how do you protect your own energy?
Well, so that I don't forget, I usually say, if I forgot today or in the week or something, can you please protect me? Because there will be days that I will forget because I'm at home and not doing anything and
Mm-hmm.
not going anywhere. So I don't always remember when I'm going out. But I do put the white light around me and I do put mirrors and, like fake mirrors are in my mind with the screen. But the thing is, I have angels always with me.
Mm-hmm.
So they do the job.
Right. My
Yeah.
guide Addie, when I finally met her, and I was in my 60s before I went looking for her, and when I finally met her, I said, "Oh, I'm sorry. You said you've been here since I was quite young." And she said, "I've been here always." And I said, "Well, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying attention, ignoring things." And she said, "No, it's okay. You did everything we told you to do, so you're fine." Okay. What can I say? Do you think psychic abilities are innate, or can anyone develop them?
Um, Depending how you were closed off. Like for me, No one was there to tell me, oh, this is this, and that is, oh, and then I would have seen it somewhere. I couldn't see it
Mhm.
anywhere because you were just watching cartoons at the time. So there's nothing there to tell you this is, you know. So for me, yeah, I say everybody's got it. It's just the time that you want to have it open,
Mhm.
you can. You if you then you'll start seeking. You'll say, yeah, well, I knew she was coming today. Like 5 minutes ago, I was thinking of her, and it's like I haven't seen this person in blah 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 time, and here
Mhm.
she is. So there's always little things that tells you you have it, but you just don't put the coincidence that's there.
Yeah, you keep calling it a coincidence instead of
Yeah.
understanding it's a synchronicity.
Hmm. Yeah.
Uh, how has your work changed your worldview or beliefs about life and death?
Um, well, since I'm in both of them all the time, um, there is no death.
Mhm.
Because the thing is, I had gone to a hospital and I touched this lady because she had specifically asked for me. And when I touched her, I saw the skeleton. I didn't see the body, I was seeing the skeleton, which after they told me it was that she was dying and she died that night. So it's like, okay, but I can see them after, so I'm a medium also, so I can
Mhm.
see them. So my worlds, they're always there.
Okay. So it's just the same old place, just a tiny little veil or door they have to get through.
Yeah.
I say it's like frosted glass. You know something's back there, but you can't see it all that plainly.
Mm.
What is one of the more powerful readings you've ever done? And what did you learn from it?
Um, well, the one that for the lady that I found her not responding,
Yeah, the daughter.
uh,
That's a
the
very
daughter. Yeah. And I would say, I'm trying to think. There's so many. Oh, the lady that I had this client, and this is about a year and some ago, and she wanted to know everything. Whatever I found out, she wanted to know. So I would touch her head and then I would do a scan. So I would start with the head and go everywhere. But I stopped at the eyes. And when I stopped at the eyes, I said, you really want to know what I see? And she said, yes, tell me. I said, you're going blind. Now, I met this lady once before, I think.
hmm
I think it was once before. And I'm just and I say, I'm sorry, but you did say you wanted to know. So here I am keeping on going. And then I said, would you like to well, this is daring enough. Would you like to know when this is going to happen? And I said they might be able to tell me. So I'm asking if it's within a year, and then when in 5 years and 10 years, and then when I go to 15, they go back up. So 14, and they say 14. So anyway, so I tell her uh, it's going to be in 14 years.
hmm
So, okay, so this is really surprising to me that I'm saying this out loud.
hmm
And then she says, can I tell you something? Sure. She said, I just found out yesterday I was going blind. So she just found out the day before, and here I am telling
Oh,
her, like, oof, yeah. And I told them, don't do that again. It's like,
well, and
don't let me say it,
14 years is you're. What I always warn people about those kind of predictions when we get caught up in them, and not that I've seen someone going blind, but I'm seeing it as within this time frame. So in 14 years, they could have come up with a whole lot of understanding we don't have. But
Mm.
you need to understand to take it seriously because if nothing else changes, this is what's going on.
But also, I asked, I said, since I had to say it out loud, is there something this is telling me that I can help her with?
Mm-hmm.
And they said yes. So I asked her, I said, we are going to be working some part of this every time that I come to see you. And if I don't come back, that's okay. This is up to you because I never pressure anybody to
Right.
whatever. So it's if you want for me to work on it, we'll work on it the first thing and then we'll work on something else after, whatever is needed. So she said, sure. So instead of 14, she was left with less time of her loss of vision. So at least that
Okay.
helped.
Okay.
So, you know, yeah.
Okay. And um, how do you deliver when you realize you're coming up into somewhere where you're going into a sensitive or a complex message? How do you prepare for that inside?
For me to be
Mm-hmm.
prepared, um, I just asked to have the right words to say. I asked them, I said, if you want for me to say something, you're going to have to show me or tell me, I need to hear it, to how to say it so this person understands that it's serious. And, you know, so yeah, that's how I ask.
Okay.
They're usually good on it.
I always say, if you're going to give me a message, give me the words.
Hmm.
Just send the vision.
Yeah.
Uh, what advice would you give someone who's just starting to explore their gifts?
Search the internet.
Yeah.
Search the, and you will always find someone that you're okay with.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some people out there. I have this ability of finding and saying out loud, uh, that's a phony.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're lying or whatever. In my mind, it goes and it's like, okay, don't need to see this person anymore. So that's
Mm-hmm.
how I do it. But for other people, if they just, you know, you just look in their eyes and you can tell that it's like the facial expression and the mouth is not corresponding. You know, it's like, hmm.
They're like AI, bad
There you
AI.
go.
Um, and what do you wish you had known earlier? I know you started really young, but what's one thing you wish that you'd like known 10, 20 years ago?
To have someone else there
Mm-hmm.
that could have talked to me about it, because something that happened in my bedroom was seeing three big lights and I didn't know what it was. I even went outside. I went with the baseball bat to see if someone was outside my house. I came back in. At that time, I had seen myself sit in the on the bed, watching myself sleep, and I was writing a poem at the same time. It was near Christmas time, so I thought I was going crazy. I wish I would have had someone there to tell me, "You're not going crazy. You just saw angels."
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to see, because I thought I was going really crazy, I thought, okay, this is it. This is my limit. I'm just, so I went to see a priest and I spoke to this priest that knew me for a long time. And I said, I don't know. I think I'm just losing it. And he's saying, well, tell me what happened. And so I'm telling him, oh, you just been visited by angels.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so fine enough. Okay, from angels, whatever. He said, no, no. What happened when you did that? And I'm telling him that I was writing a poem because I always had pen and paper.
Mm-hmm.
So just then when I read it, it's like, oh my God, I don't even have to correct anything. It's like someone else wrote it. And then
Mm-hmm.
it's like it went to 5 churches. It went to Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. So yeah, so it was something I needed to deliver. So
Yeah,
mm.
very good. Are there any daily habits or exercises that you recommend that at least work for you, and so maybe someone else would be interested?
I'm always in gratitude. So I always start out with that.
Mm-hmm.
And I just ask for whoever is up there that's looking out for me or whoever my angels are that surrounds me, um, to be to let me be of heart, because this is the part where I need to understand there are going to be good days, there are going to be bad days. Sometimes I won't be able to do whatever I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So just give me the heart to know which is the correct way. So that's how I start my day. And I always sing a little song by James Brown. I feel good. So I
Oh
start
yeah,
that, and that's my little ritual in the morning. Is like I say that.
very good. How can someone, how can, you already sort of talked about this, but I'm going to ask it again because how can someone find a trustworthy psychic community or a mentor?
Search. Do your search. Do. I read lots of books,
Mhm.
and when I would find something that was interesting, I would buy another book of the
Mhm.
same person and read on it. And then I would talk with someone and they say, oh, yes, so we got something in common with that
Right.
person. So that would be like, okay, we're on the same page. So
Mhm.
we're just, the communication was going to be good there. Yeah.
And because we're kind of past wanting to isolate as much as we have in the past, the world I grew up in, everybody butted into each other. There used to be psychic fairs. There used to be groups of people meeting. There are a lot. I've had a couple of my students leave my tarot class and then go and venture into other communities, and it's been interesting to hear their stories about what it was like out there. But all that was going on. I remember I was in college and a guy was teaching a night university course, which was free, and it was about astrology. And that was my first real, someone put all the pieces together of it for me. Trust me, I did not walk out of there an astrologer. But, go try something. If you see something's going on in your area, take a buddy with you and go look at it and see what it's like. And you'll get a real feel for that. I agree with you about that. Trying things out.
I went to a psychic fair and I don't know what possessed me to do it, but I had seen four people on the same day, and they were not at ears reach, so nobody would have heard the other person, and they're busy with other people. Why would
Hmm.
they be interested in me, anyways? So here I am, four of them, and it's after like I see someone, and then I write it down, and then I go back and write that down, and so I had four of them. And when I look at the writing, it's like, oh my God, they were all the same. It's like they had not, that might have had one or two things different, but they were all saying the same thing. It's like, how in the world can they do that? Four of them. So there was something there that was like,
Yeah,
okay, all
you
right.
were there. And, we have to trust that, we're not making, I mean, we're dealing with you or you'd be dealing with me. I mean, we're
Mm,
not pulling. And if someone else starts telling you stuff that sounds like it's so far from left field, I wouldn't ignore it completely, but I wouldn't put my heartfelt thing, especially if it's something that I always tell people, just sit down. I don't care. I don't want to know. I'm going to start with
mm.
what's going around you for the next 3 months and we go from there. Because people sit down, they go, well, I have da 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 da, and you're like, no, I don't want to know that. I just want
Exactly.
to look at what I see from you.
Yeah, because you don't go by memory. I
Oh,
mean,
not
they're
at all.
going to tell you something, and it's like, now what did they say? And it was like, is that what she really said? Or was that the other person that came like a month ago or something? So you can't do it that way. You have to go with the flow that's coming in.
Well, do
Yeah.
you find when you do a reading for someone, unless it's really profound and there's some reason it clicks with you, you have to remember, I, you just had an orb go through your room. I find that a lot of times um, people call me and they say, well, a week ago you told me da da da. And I said, I did.
Mm.
It was a message to you. It's not meaningful to me. Lord knows I've got enough stuff in the you know Fibber McGee closet of my brain that I can dump a few things out and try to move a few new things in. So
If it's medical, if it's something that's medical that was very important, I will remember it.
okay.
But if it's just like, I was gonna meet someone like in 3 months from now and you told me this and that, like if I do like a year reading or something,
Mhm.
and they're saying, well, you told me in October and it really came through, and then it's like, and then the girl left me again, and it's like, okay.
And what did
Okay.
I say to you at the beginning of your reading about bad patterns you have?
Yeah, like whatever.
Okay. This is the last question, and then we're going to discuss what it is you do and sort of your background and training. What's the biggest lesson you've learned in your psychic journey?
To take a minute before saying something, because I predicted someone was going to have a baby,
Mhm.
and it was going to be a girl, and the grandmother was there with her friends. They were coming to a drawing course that I was giving, and I just went and I said it because they told me it was fine to say it. So I just went and I said, "Oh, so your daughter's having a baby and a little girl?" And she goes, "Nobody knows. I didn't want to tell anybody." And she didn't want, it's like, oh, so then I get the argument with the person that's whoever sending it to me. And
Mhm.
it's like, don't do that again. So I had to learn, because I once went to, I had moved, of course, and I went to this house because my car would not go to my house. It was the house in front of mine.
Mhm.
And I had gone to get groceries, and this lady who I really didn't know, I go there and knock at the door and I said, "I'm sorry, my name is, I moved in front of your house, and um, I'm told to give you a message." And she says, "Okay, what's the message?" I said, "Well, no, it's not that kind of message. It's something else. Uh, did your husband just pass?" And she said, "Yes." "Okay, that's the type of message that I need to tell you." "Okay, well, come on in." So I go into a living room and I'm not seeing a dog and I don't see anything. And I said, "Do you have a dog?" And she said, "Yes, he's in the back, tied to the thing in the back." And I was like, "Okay, well, did your husband buy that dog?" And she said, "Yes, it was his dog." "Is he acting very weird lately?" And she said, "Yes, he is." "Well, I was just going to the corner store, just got some groceries, and I was going home. And I apologize. I can't leave until I tell you this. So I've got something I have to tell you." And she says, "Okay." And she's looking at me as like if I'm crazy, which probably at the time I really seemed like
She's
it.
getting ready to dial in America it would be 911. I need help.
And I'm telling her the dog goes downstairs and comes back upstairs, downstairs and go like in the basement. And she says,
Mhm.
"Yes." "Well, he's trying to tell you there's papers there that you need to know about." And she says, "Really?" I said, "Yes, something about papers. They're telling me something about papers." I said, "Thank you very much. Now I told you what I have to do to tell you I can go because they just told me I can go." And she's looking at me, she says, "Okay." She says, "Thank you." And so I get in my car, go just
Mhm.
opposite road. And then that night, she comes knocking at my door and she says, "I found the insurance. I didn't know you had insurance. And here we are. This is going to help so much. Thank you, thank you." And she's hugging me. And then, "Okay, you're welcome." Me's like, "Oh." But it's, you never know. And you have to, like, this was early on in the 80s. So it's like you just don't know how to explain things or who you are because nobody knows who you are. It's like,
Mhm.
so yeah, so I had to readjust my way of delivering things because you have to learn.
Okay, I'm going to put on right now. This is how you can reach Pierrette, and
Yep.
this is her Gmail.
Mm.
And now we're going to go into a little more in depth. What's your training? Was your training in healthcare?
My training, every course that I took was leading to energy work because um, I've been doing things with my hands,
Your hand.
energy.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's where my training is mostly. I do cards, I do pendulum, I do like the normal stuff. Yeah, I can be normal, but most of my stuff that really I come out with is medical,
Okay.
medical intuitive. I'm automatically know things.
Did you train in allopathic medicine, or did you just find that that's where your skills lie?
That's where my skills come in. I okay. I was with Red Cross in with the clients, not working as a
Heal.
worker, but it was in the office.
Okay.
But what I would have to do is go to um, the hospital for dietitian and work with them
Hmm.
for the meals for the clients. So I would see the clients.
Hmm.
Then I would see the clients because they needed equipment.
Hmm.
So I would place the right equipment with the client that their needs were. So I would automatically know the doctor said this, but you're further along than the doctor knows. So I would suggest this too.
Hmm.
So a backup. So here I was seeing things at the time
Right.
for Red Cross. And then Cancer Society was a different thing where you got prosthesis, you got, so I was always like in the medical field. I even went to a party with my sister and it's nurses and doctors. And she invited me to go. So here I am with her, and these three doctors are talking to each other, and I'm passing right by. And while I'm passing by, I say to them, I said, "Oh yes, this. I don't know anything. Like, why would I open my mouth?" So here, how did you know that? I probably saw on TV. No, this is not something you would see on TV. Oh, well, I probably just guessed it. This is not something you can even guess.
Hmm.
Oh, well, I don't know. Am I right? Like I had no clue, right?
Hmm.
And they're going, yes, you just did and said, uh, okay, yeah, fine. My apologies. Keep on, and I walk away.
Hmm.
Like so, I've always been somehow knowledgeable in certain things.
I have a feeling it's a past life thing.
They tell me I was, yeah, yeah. They tell me everything shamanic, which I went for one course, and then after that I said that that's enough for me because I was doing it by myself anyways. So yeah, no, I'm sure past life. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question that's come up and we're not going to answer it. Antonia, I put up her email. If you want to contact Pierrette about she has a question about a hospital admittance she had and a problem that showed up and she wants clarification. We're not going to do that right now. That takes a lot of energy and a lot of time, and I didn't invite Pierrette in here to do that.
Mm.
I
And
invited
I
her.
can't do it publicly anyway, so it's not
Okay, well
something that I
then
can.
you're really screwed. You're gonna have to go. I mean, I'll tell you, Dr. Gale's in the conversations right now. She's in the chat right now too, and she does have a medical training background, and that causes her problems because much of her medicine is intuitive, and she has to constantly say, "This is for entertainment purposes only." You know, although she may know more. I worked in hospitals. I've seen autopsies and stuff, but trust me, it doesn't help me with this stuff. This comes from a completely different sphere and realm. Um, you've talked about what you do. Are you going to have? I know you don't have your channel up much now because I look to see you haven't had a lot of shows on.
Mm.
But people go over and join because I'm sure Pierrette's going to be sending out notices when she's back up and running. She's in the middle of moving, guys, and she wants to work on her channel while she's moving as much as any of us would want to. So,
Well, I also I've been married 3 times. So the first one I divorced, the second one I was a widow. So for my second husband, he was with Parkinson's for 18 years and 5.5 years with dementia. So I had to concentrate on him
mm-hmm,
and not have the extra coming in.
mm-hmm,
So I had to stop. So this is about, I would say, now 2 years in. So yeah, 2 years ago, if 2.5 years. So I haven't done anything per se for a lot of people. I do certain things, but not to outsiders. Let's
Hmm.
put it that way, because I needed rest. It was a lot.
Well, it is a lot. And, we have the right trust me, we have the right to fold our tent up and go away and rest for periods of time,
Mm.
and
When my first husband and I were together, I was so on, it was unreal. So when we separated, I asked to have my abilities to be lessened so that I would not harm anyone, because I'm a manifester. So this is example only. If I told someone break a leg, they would actually break a leg. So I really had to watch my words, and I did not want to harm anyone. So not even the ex, not even the girls that he were with, because common denominator weren't the girls, it was the ex. So why would I hurt someone else? So I
hmm
had to ask and not think of anything that would harm anyone. So I asked them, could you please limit? So for 10 years, they did that. They permitted me to just slow down on certain things. And I said, okay, now I'm ready. So when I
hmm
was ready, I said, don't bring everything at once, because there were so many things that I could do. Just give me a little bit at a time so I can absorb where I am back, so where I can go. So, yeah, so I was fortunate that way that they permitted me that. So,
well,
because
I was talking to another reader, and we have a friend who's been going through some ascension things. And when they get ascension things, they really get hit. I mean, they get vertigo so bad. And the reader was talking to the reader that was getting the vertigo and said, I've told you can ask them to back off. They will back off. And she heard later that day that they'd sat down and done that, and they had backed off. And they just said, no, you think I can take all this, but I really can't.
mm,
And Antonia, this lady who wrote us a question, there's no reason to apologize to us. You asked your question. We're just explaining to you kind of the rules of the game for us. And that's not for, no, there are no other readers who might read on that. Pierrette and I just sort of have the same. And other people are praying for you to heal quickly and to find your answers from the chat. So hope that you feel better. And so, what you're moving? When do you think you're going to be finished moving?
oh, I'm always moving. I haven't found a place yet. So hopefully by June, I'm hoping
Okay.
by June, this is what I'm looking at. We want to find something, buy it, and move from where we are as we can go, because I've got a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, when my second husband was sick, I decided to have hobbies. And the hobbies were, crystals, and were um, different things, but a lot of different things, because
Mm-hmm.
I'm fortunate. I'm good at a lot of stuff. So I had a lot of stuff to move, where
Mm-hmm.
I just moved here in May. So it's, June, I should say. So it's like, okay, and then I'm moving again. So I'll have to pack again. And I am getting rid of some of my hobbies, because I find other stuff take
Mm-hmm.
more precedence. Yeah.
Yeah. I had
So,
two giant suitcases full of yarn from all these different knitting projects I'd done over the years. And um, I'd already given away one giant trunk load of yarn to a friend of mine that was working with a group of people that knit baby blankets and hats for babies from one of the hospitals here, so that every baby goes home with its own blanket and stuff. And it's like, I think yarn breeds at night when we're not looking. And so finally, my granddaughter has really gotten into crocheting, and she and a little friend of hers. So
Ooh.
over Thanksgiving, my granddaughter was up here and she was staying with her friends at their house. And I took all the yarn to the house and I said, and I have the kind of knitting needles that you can, one loop can make several different size needles by what you screw on it and stuff. And the girls were just fascinated and and they've been sending me pictures of the projects they get onto. And I figured, well, it's better than sitting playing video games all day. She's 12. She's a track runner. Uh,
Oh.
she's she is not built like me. She gets her body type from her mother's side. She is long and skinny, and but she and her girlfriends. There's four of them that all learned how to crochet together at some church camp, and they all get online and they all sit there and do a Zoom while they crochet with each other.
One thing that I'm going to make sure when I move is not to have a whole bunch of books in my bedroom and crystals in my bedroom, because I had moved some stuff and I just dropped it there at the side of my bed until, put it away.
Mm-hmm.
And this night came and it's like something's talking to me.
Oh yeah,
It's going,
keep you up all night.
it's like, what is going on? And you're looking everywhere and there's nothing there. It's like, well, come on now, I need to sleep. And I know now, do not put all the books and the crystals in the bedroom at the same time.
Did they have points on them like this?
Yes,
Okay.
some of them were. Yeah.
That point is looking for your third eye. Do not put this in your bedroom. And it's not just the color, it's any crystal that someone has, or little pyramids they've made. Those are all sending out energy as well as bringing it in. Trust me, I did a show on crystal chaos, which is some crystals go together and some don't and all this stuff. And right after I did the show, I got an email from a woman and she said, I went in and I told my husband, they had gone all over the country. And one of the things I always brought back was crystals and stones. And they decided that they'd put them all in one big bowl and put it in their bedroom. And from the day they moved that in their bedroom, they couldn't sleep. And she thought, she didn't put the two together. And then after she saw my show, she went, oh my God. So she told her husband, honey, we got to move this out of the bedroom. And he goes, but it looks really good there. She said, it may look good, but I think it's what's keeping us up at night, because both of them were losing sleep. So she said, just humor me. And so they moved it out of the bedroom into a dining room. And then she very carefully went through with my little list of sort of how to put stones together so that they kind of all get along. You can kind of will them to get along, but there are some that do. If you're picking a stone to settle you down, then you definitely don't want a bright quartz crystal to activate your energy sitting right next to it, because they're going to be sitting there talking to each other. No, it's my job now. No, it's my job. Yeah. Ran into a little bit of crystal chaos. And anyway, so that people now know is as we heal each other is your thing. And I hope people will look you up, Pierrette, and enjoy meeting you. I've enjoyed meeting you. I intend to stay in touch with you.
Thank you. Same here.
And she's been, and people are commenting lovely about how they found communities they feel and can relate to. Right now, I can tell you, this last week, I'm going to advertise it again. This is not for sale, but this is the grid that we built for 2026. And it's got passion, alchemy, and coherence. And people look at that and they go, well, a lot of those stones shouldn't go together, but they do because of the way that things formed. But one of the things that I found when I was building that display is what you're talking about, individually healing, finding someone to help me heal, because we're going to be able to do so much more. And like you said, manifest on our personal plane. Let the whirling dervishes whirl out there. Let them go do all the crazy stuff they do. They're all doing it to unmask themselves. So the best we can do is be as whole as we can be, and be part of our own lives actively. And do you teach classes?
If I teach classes, well, I haven't for a long time.
Okay.
But I could restart. That's not a problem there. But right now, no.
It's not on the agenda.
Not on the agenda for right now. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Like I never block anything out completely. So thank you so much for showing up and being here with us. And
thank you for the invite.
Oh, well, it's delightful. I love it. Oh, I know. You do Star Speak, or you fell into Star Speak.
Light language. Yes. Yeah.
Same place. Star Speak, light language. What can I say? So Pierrette might be someone you might want to contact if that's become part of your repertoire. And you two can talk to each other all day long. I will not understand a word of it, but that's fine. Anyway, goodbye to everyone. Thank you to all of them that came in. We had over 60 people watching us, which is really good on a Tuesday afternoon. And we next Tuesday, it'll be open mic. I'm not going to do I'm still working out all my 12-month readings and my other readings people gave themselves for Christmas presents. And as soon as that's done, then I'll be back doing more psychic profiles. And also I'm on Substack now. So if you join Substack and go look for me, you can see us there. Take care. Thank you so much for joining us from New Brunswick. Good to talk to another person in the upper part of this continent. Take care.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.